Hey guys, I'm Nisha and today I'll be reviewing the book The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. This book has a lot of interesting quotations and illustrations, and although they are covered by light humor, they often have themes of poverty, alcoholism, and other problems that Indians face that are embedded into the text. An example of one of these illustrations is this one. Some of the big problems that the Spear family faces are shown in this cartoon, like poverty and alcoholism. Poverty is shown when, in the first frame, the family doesn't have any gas money to drive themselves to school. And also, in this fifth frame, when Junior's dad is too hungover to drive them to school and his mom has to. These problems are very evident in the Spear family as they affect their daily living. One thing that's interesting to me is that drinking is so shunned upon and ostracized in other parts of the world, yet in Indian culture it is almost a commonality that's done almost every day at funerals, parties. Two of my favorite quotations in this book actually come from Junior when he's talking about pain. And the first one is, "There are all kinds of addicts, I guess. We all have pain, and we all look for ways to make the pain go away." And also, there's another quotation which is in direct correlation to the first one, although it's in a different part of the book. And he says, "I think the world is a series of broken dams and floods, and my cartoons are my tiny little lifeboats." Junior's dad and Junior both experience pain, and they both look for external sources to make their pain go away. Although they are very different characters, they have many similarities as to exerting their pain in external ways. Before reading this book, students were asked to choose a topic and give a presentation based on that topic. The topic that my partner and I got was bulimia, and we presented based on that topic. My research gave me a new insight on bulimia, yet I don't think it was very necessary to reading this book, as it is only a theme in this book and not a reoccurring motif. The other topics that did prepare students a lot more for reading this book, as it gave them background knowledge, especially topics like indigenous languages and especially stereotypes. Stereotypes are very present in this book, as we can see a lot of them on the Indian reservations, and we also see how Arnold defies them when he goes to Rearden, when he laughs when his sister dies, when his grandmother didn't drink any alcohol, yet she still got killed by a drunk driver. Also, I feel like I can relate to this book, as Junior is a new student at Rearden, and even though he lives in poverty and he goes through all these problems in his life, he also faces the basic problems of being a new kid at a new school. And being a new kid comes with its own challenges and responsibilities. I would know. Although Junior does face many huge problems like poverty and alcoholism, he also faces normal problems that a normal teenager in high school faces. For example, when Rearden won against Welpinit in that last basketball game, Junior cries because he's ashamed that some of these children may not get a higher education or go to college and get a job. Junior is maturing just as we are as teenagers in high school. I would recommend this book to young adults and teenagers, as they can relate to a lot of the things that Junior goes through, because there are themes in most teenagers' lives. After reading Mrs. Kramer's article that she sent us about this girl that wore an Indian headdress, I started looking into Native American culture and researching more about Indian headdresses. Indian headdresses are also actually very held of high prestige and authority, and they're only given to people who are very high up in the community for Indians, like tribe leaders or chiefs. Many people, though, disrespect this and use headdresses as accessories, such as models and people who just use them for fun, and such as like school plays and other things. That's very disrespectful to the Indians, and they have actually made a stand about it by signing petitions, namely in Oklahoma. This book was banned in a school in Missouri because of violence, language, and sexual content. I don't believe that it's fair to take away things that high schoolers already have started learning in their high school lives. Teachers are trying to preserve our ignorance just because they believe that we don't know anything about some of the themes being taught in this book, but in reality, we learn it every single day. As for external resources, I would recommend SpokenTribe.com, SpokenIndian.org, and The Guardian for information about why the book was banned. With that, my vlog comes to an end, and if you haven't read the book yet, make sure to read it, because it's amazing.